Hello and welcome to this session on men's mental health. It's important, it's just as important, if not more important than physical health, and yet it often goes unspoken, especially among men. So today we're going to explore some of the key challenges that men face, the biological, the societal factors at play, and holistic strategies, including exercise, nutrition, herbal support, lifestyle changes to help support mental well-being. So why are men more prone to mental health problems? Well, men are statistically less likely than women to seek help for mental health struggles, despite facing higher rates of substance abuse, suicide, and work-related stress. Suicide is the leading cause of death among men under the age of 50, and men are more likely to suffer in silence due to societal expectations around masculinity, or just because they don't tend to be talkers. Chronic stress, shift work, financial strain, poor life habits can all significantly impact mental health well-being. And so addressing mental health early with proactive strategies can help make a world of difference. So common mental health challenges will include things like depression and anxiety. Now that's often masked as anger, irritability, or a disengagement rather than sadness, where you just become turned off to what's going on in the world. Symptoms can include fatigue, low motivation, changes in sleep and appetite, and also a feeling of hopelessness. There can be work-related stress and burnout. That usually is associated with high-pressure jobs, long hours, shift work, lack of sleep, and that can trigger chronic stress and adrenal fatigue. Substance abuse or unhealthy coping mechanisms. So many men turn to alcohol or drugs or excessive screen time instead of addressing underlying issues. Social isolation and relationship struggles. Modern lifestyles can often lead to reduced meaningful male friendships, and that will increase the sense of loneliness. Hormonal imbalances and mental health. So low testosterone levels are linked to low mood, fatigue, and poor motivation. That's particularly important if you do shift work, or if you are starting to get older and your natural testosterone is starting to deplete. If you suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, then it's often underdiagnosed in veterans, first responders, and those who've experienced childhood trauma. So holistic strategies for mental health. Well, lifestyle is one of the things that we want to focus on because they're the things you can do. Prioritize your sleep. So aim for about 7 to 9 hours of high quality sleep at night and try to regulate your mood and your energy levels. Try and spend some time in nature. So grounding activities like hiking, foraging, gardening can also help reduce stress hormones. Try and establish some kind of social connection. So make time for friends, for family, for community involvement. That can be volunteering. If we don't have access to the pubs to go and sit in the sauna and get to know people in your local community on a semi-regular basis. Try and limit your screen time. So excessive social media news consumption can all worsen anxiety and depression. And then faith or meditation, so prayer, mindfulness, journaling can all help improve mental resilience. When it comes to exercise and physical activity, strength training boosts testosterone, dopamine and serotonin, all crucial for mood regulation. Cardio, so running, cycling, swimming, all reduce stress and enhance cognitive function. Martial arts encourages discipline, self-awareness and emotional control. And then cold water therapy or sauna use, cold plunges and heat exposure can reduce inflammation and elevate mood. Now, the nutrition for mental health. A nutrient-dense diet supports brain function and emotional stability. So the best foods for mental health include healthy fats, such as omega-3 rich foods, salmon, walnuts, flaxseed for brain function. And proteins support the neurotransmitter production, so eggs, lean meats, lentils, and dark leafy greens or cruciferous vegetables, which are high in vitamins and magnesium. And fermented foods support gut-brain health, so sauerkraut, kimchi and kefirs. And then dark chocolate and green tea, like natural sources of dopamine-boosting polyphenols. What you do want to avoid, though, is ultra-processed foods, excess caffeine, alcohol, refined sugar, which spike and cause mood crashes. Now, herbal supports. When it comes to herbal supports for mental health, there's actually quite a few that are out there. So I would start with herbs like ashwagandha. This is Withania somnifera, which lowers cortisol and supports resilience. Rhodiola rosea enhances focus and reduces burnout, and I would use it for people who are depressed but without mania. Holy basil is Tulsi, and it reduces stress-induced anxiety and enhances mental clarity. Lion's mane mushroom helps support cognitive function and nerve regeneration. And then herbs for mood and for neurotransmitter support. St. John's wort is as effective for mild depression as some antidepressants. These are SSRIs. Saffron is as effective as some antidepressants. Bacopa monnieri improves memory and reduces anxiety. And lemon balm and passion flower are natural calming agents that are useful if anxiety is part of the picture. Addressing your hormonal health and your mental well-being. So when it comes to testosterone, low testosterone is linked to depression and low motivation. So natural boosters include weightlifting, HIIT workouts, zinc-rich foods, pumpkin seeds, vitamin D, and then herbs such as tonkat ali, shilajit, fenugreek, horny goatweed's another one, ashwagandha, Turnera diffusa, yohimbe. There's many different alternatives out there. And then many feel that they just have to tough it out alone. But what I would just encourage people to do is to seek help. And that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Now, I'm not particularly a fan of therapy because I feel that most complaints and most social conditions can be addressed within community of people, friends, just social community, family. And I'll come back as to what I tend to do about that in a moment. But if you do need therapy or counselling, and those who have been exposed to trauma, post-traumatic stress, then cognitive behavioural therapy is really highly effective. But many of you are going to be totally fine in faith-based groups, local men's support circles, and they can be invaluable. And professional help is there if you need it. So there's no shame in consulting a GP, a therapist, or a herbalist like myself for support to find out what herbs might be able to help on the dopamine or serotonin pathways. And then generally what I have tended to do is I now have an infrared sauna at the back of our house. And I use it as my man shed. So if there's somebody feeling a bit down, if we want to go and have a chat, we sit in the sauna. And the reason I like that is because it strips us down into our birthday suits. And there's nothing hidden. And there's no hierarchy. Not one person's better than the other. You're both naked and both vulnerable and able to talk heart to heart in a real clear way that supports masculinity and is also good medicine at the same time. So mental health is a holistic issue. It requires attention to your mind, to your body, and to your spirit. And it's something that you want to develop healthy habits. You want to nourish good nutrition. You want to establish some regular exercise. You can use some herbal and adaptogenic support. And then, of course, the social connection and self-care. So it's about building resilience, improving your well-being to live fuller and healthier lives. If you're struggling, then reach out. Help is available to you. Now, thanks for listening, and I hope that this has been valuable.